changes, like cricket. If you want cheap but distinguished sports car racing, they're for you. Or if you hanker after the nostalgic dream, back to the days when they built cars with hairs on their chest. Yet, facts are facts. These modern Minis corner better, go almost as fast, but cost a fraction of the hairy monsters. As an example, in 1964, a Mini Cooper won the Monte Carlo Rally against all comers, including the biggest of cars. Royalty, pop singers, and Debs adore it. Like everything else, democratize the sport. Make it available. That's the trend, and Britain's pioneered it. To be precise, John Cooper, that gifted car designer and garage proprietor from Surbiton, has been at work again. He was the first to produce small and cheap racing cars, Formulas 2 and 3, who looked and handled something like Grand Prix machines. Others have followed. Colin Chapman, ex-RAF, ex-aircraft engineer and racing driver turned car designer. In 1964, his cars, Lotus, succeeded BRM and Cooper, all British cars, to hold the World Constructors' Championship, the highest honor motor racing can bestow. In a few off-season months in winter, he fights for time to design next season's Grand Prix cars. Throughout the season, Chapman pilots his drivers and himself to race meetings all over Europe. His #1 driver, Jim Clark, was 1963 world champion. Lotus keep one team of cars on the continent, one in Britain, and one in America. 3 cars per team of 5 mechanics, 2 drivers, 2 cars to race, 1 spare. One tiny imperfection in man or machine, and you're out. To design each year as perfect and advanced a piece of engineering as science can devise, you need a touch of genius. And only Chapman's wife knows how irritating genius can be. It's splendid to applaud one great heroic drive, the brilliant win of the outsider against all odds. Certainly it happens, but it's not enough. A racing team needs more wins, more points than anyone, race after race. No aftermath of broken cars and drivers left behind in plaster cast. 2 cars, 2 drivers constantly in fighting trim, that is enough. Win or get out, there's nothing in between. It's a startling fact that more car manufacturers have lost money through racing than any other reason. Most of the great marques of the motor world have at one time or another raced, but only a very few are left. From Italy, one honored name, Ferrari. From Britain, the BRMs, Brabhams, Coopers, and Lotus. A win for Lotus means more sales of the other cars they build. A Monte Carlo victory brings 10,000 extra orders for Mini Coopers. There's nothing like a winning car for boosting sales throughout the world. Seen through a sales director's glasses and from the boardroom, racing is not a sport, it's a rough business. But because of it, the family saloons you drive on public roads now have disc brakes, improved suspension, corner more safely and faster, have longer lasting tires, and better carburation. All these advances came and more will come from racing. Yet it's not the cars or the car designers who draw the crowds. John Cooper, Enzo Ferrari, Colin Chapman are certainly respected, and on occasions feared throughout the racing world. Who in this crowd would know them? They come to Monza or to Monte to cheer the current crop of heroes, to stand in the giant shadow of Graham Hill, Jack Brabham, John Surtees, and Jim Clark. Admit it, at twinge of envy for their fame, for their success? Someone has caught it and is cursing his luck if he's conscious. He's out now, shunted, but he'll be back if he can. Fangio crashed 12 times, 9 for Stirling Moss. And Nuvolari, he lost count.
And the 2-minute board has just gone up, and the cars are lined up on the dummy grid for the start of what promises to be a magnificent Grand Prix in front of a record crowd. The cars carry the national colours, red for the Ferraris from Italy. I can see John Surtees there, their British #1 driver, and all the British cars are painted racing green. The independent entries carry the colours of their drivers, blue for France, silver for Germany, white and blue for the United States.